In this video, we're going to review the by name list menu option in HMIS. A by name list, also called a master list, one list, or active list, is a real-time, up-to-date list of all people experiencing homelessness, which can be used to understand who experiences homelessness in your community, track inflows and outflows to the housing crisis response system, and determine if a community's efforts to end homelessness is effective. It is especially helpful in efforts to end homelessness to a specific subpopulation, such as veterans, youth, or families with minor children. The by name list can be filtered by category and shared across agencies. This list is generated with data from outreach efforts, HMIS, federal partners, and any other community shelters and providers working with the homeless population. The Texas Balanced Estate COC's by name list is housed in our HMIS. The icon for the list can be seen on the left, and the menu option can be found under the My Client Track submenu. Just be sure that you are in the Home workspace. Clients are automatically added to the by name list when they go through a VI-SPDAT or FVI-SPDAT assessment. Without an HMIS ID and completed assessment, clients will not appear on the by name list. The by name list is different from the housing priority list in two key ways. Whereas the housing priority list is broken into two based on assessment score, the permanent supportive housing list and the rapid rehousing transitional housing list, the by name list includes all households that have undergone a VI-SPDAT or FVI-SPDAT. The housing priority list is a product of the coordinated entry assessment process and is used to determine the order of households to be contacted with referrals and offers of permanent housing. The by name list, in contrast, is a tool used to determine everyone who is experiencing homelessness in the community, regardless of whether they have completed the coordinated entry assessment process. The current search criteria for the by name list are limited to the VI-SPDAT assessing organization and the by name list statuses. The only requirement to search is the VI-SPDAT assessing organization field. This gives communities the flexibility to search for and download a by name list tailored to their specific community or region. Individual agencies also have the ability to see only the assessments they have done using this functionality. You may notice that some fields in the list are not filled for all clients. This can mean a number of things. For example, the client may not have gone through coordinated entry but was simply assessed with the VI-SPDAT, or maybe not all questions in the client's VI-SPDAT were filled out, or they may not have completed a universal data assessment. A note here on the two assessment dates that you will see on the by name list. The VI-SPDAT assessment date will always pull the date of the latest VI-SPDAT assessment for the client. In contrast, the CE assessment date will pull the client's original CE assessment date. The by name list status is a data field that helps the community to determine where a client is in the process of ending his or her homelessness. The list statuses are also helpful for understanding how a community's housing crisis response system is performing by assisting communities in understanding who is actively homeless, who has exited the system to permanent housing, and who has returned to the system. In our HMIS, by name list statuses are entered in the same way as normal services. Users don't even have to be in a specific work group to update a client's by name list status. If the client is currently enrolled in one of your programs, or if you entered the client into HMIS through CE, be sure that that specific enrollment is selected before entering your by name list status. If the client is not currently enrolled in any program, you can still enter by name list statuses. Just click on the General Fund Service box and select a grant. Just be aware that it does not actually matter which grant you select if you need to go the General Fund Service route. The by name list contains fields used to calculate chronic homelessness. These fields are marked with a CH on the by name list. Here we have a helpful flowchart to assist you in determining a client's chronic homeless status using the by name list fields, as well as some supplementary information that can be collected during case conferencing. A link to this flowchart can also be found in the by name list guide. Keep this flowchart handy as you are using the by name list because it will be helpful when you are setting filters on your Excel data file later on. Speaking of Excel data files, the by name list can be exported by clicking on either the Excel export or Excel data export icons near the top right corner of the page. There's not much search criteria to search by. However, when the by name list is exported into an Excel data file, you should see additional columns in Excel, like Client ID, that are not visible in the search results section of the by name list. If you are looking for DV workaround clients VI SPDAT scores, then you would need to download the Excel data export. You will also see that the Excel data export pulls numeric codes for things like veteran status, assessing community, entry points, and a lot of other things. This has to do with the nature of pulling data from a database. The Excel data export is pulling the raw data on the back end of the by name list, while the regular Excel export simply lifts exactly what you see on the screen and sticks it into an Excel spreadsheet. The Excel data export is doing a little extra work. Excel filters and sorting can make determining a client's chronic homelessness status easier. To set a standard filter, click on the Data tab, and then Filter. This example is for Excel 2013, but you would find these options in the same area in later and previous versions of Excel. Once the filter is set, you can tell Excel to only show you clients with a certain score or veteran status or prior residence by clicking on the arrows on the right of each header column. Let's look at how we would use Excel filters to better help determine chronic homeless status for clients. For example, you can set the filters to show you only clients who have a disabling condition, who are also residing in an emergency shelter, place not meant for habitation, or safe haven, and if the household has resided there for the past 12 months. We can see from the example below that this test data set has some clients that meet that criteria. That doesn't mean that these are the only clients that may have chronic homeless status. We will have to do more research outside of the data that's entered in HMIS, but this is a good start. You may need to set additional filters on fields like times homeless in the last 3 years and continuously homeless to get a full scope of your clients. Review the flowchart of HUD's definition of chronic homelessness to get a sense of what filters you will need to set in order to account for each path to chronic homelessness. Thanks for watching.